It's been a long week, bro. Work, go home, barely get time, go to sleep, wake up, go back to work. The whole Japan thing, I started thinking about that shit. I was like, how's anybody gonna afford a house or be able to survive on one income? Now everybody's working 2, 3 jobs. You're hearing about everybody with side hustles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's why society's falling like into degenerate shit because like the conditions are forcing people to make money like in unethical ways.
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, like today, you know Tommy G?
Yeah.
I was watching him and he interviewed a guy that was stealing cars.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he's so good at stealing cars that he said in one night he hit 15 cars off a dealership.
Damn.
In one night, bro. I think he has a squad with him, but like the way these guys are operating is pretty sophisticated. When it was funny because Tommy helped him meet up with the dealership owner, and he was explaining all the ways like how they steal cars and all that, and he was just saying he's like, I'm kind of forced to do this, not forced, but he's like, this is my way of making money because he's like, any other way I can't do it. He's like, I used to be a 4.0 GPA student. I went to this college, and he's like, people think that the people that steal cars, they're stupid, but he's like, I'm actually smart. And the owner's like, yeah. He's like, after I heard your story about how you guys do it, he's like, no average dumb person can do that.
I actually heard of this story then. Yeah, the guy kind of praises him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the video dropped like a day ago.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it is because you got to know all the tools you got to use.
Software,
like yeah. You gotta use your brain. You gotta be calm under stressful situations because things get hairy pretty fast.
Yeah. That's insane. It's insane how society has to resort to such things, you know, just to make a living, bro.
Yeah, that video was pretty insane because he was showing all the different way they steal cars. He was showing how they steal Hellcats. It's so easy now.
Yeah.
Before, like, people would have to hotwire the car or like use a screwdriver. I mean, that's not that hard, but like you gotta pick the lock and all that stuff. But now these guys got devices that unlock the car, and you can within like, let's
Seconds.
say 3-4 minutes, you're out on the road. And
yeah.
And the way he was describing the process from just taking the car off the lot to clearing all the VINs and getting new paperwork made to where you can be assigned a new VIN to have everything under your name. It's so sophisticated.
Yeah.
I didn't know they can do that. This whole time I thought a certain car, they have a VIN assigned to them. I thought that VIN stays with them no matter what. I didn't know like you can get wiped out of the system. He was saying, okay, so from the start, okay, they have these tools, right? It's like, let's say, an iPad type.
Yeah, I know what
device.
It looks like. I know what it looks like.
Okay, yeah.
I know what they are.
And he's saying a lot of these companies, they're making them. Like, some companies are making them to where only certain people can access them. But then you got other companies that are, like, just trying to make money, and they're selling them on the market. Anybody can buy them.
Oh, so the tools you're talking about it's a programming tool. So the way you go about adding access to these tools is there's a database, and you actually have to register yourself for these databases and to be able to access these databases. But there are certain steps and there's certain measures you have to take before you get access to them by these companies. So a couple of the prerequisites is obviously you sign up for it and then do the vetting process. So you have to send in thumbprints or fingerprints. Then they do a full background check with your social security number and everything. You literally have to give them all your documents, every single document, right? It takes a couple weeks, and then you get it back because it's like a full background through the government. After you get cleared or whatever, then they give you a specific code. So you're only able to access this database, and what this database allows you to do is it allows you to program keys or pretty much anything that has a transponder to a key or a key fob. And from there, you're able to get into the vehicle and get it started and stuff like that.
My guess is that these third party markets, whatever you want to call them, they come like already equipped with all
They
that.
come with equipment, and you get them overseas.
Yeah, that's what it
They
is.
come
He's
in
saying they're coming
overseas.
from like Korea or
Korea,
China.
China, yep.
Yeah, so he's buying them, and then like he'll plug it into like the
OBD, yep.
OBD, my bad, OBD2 he calls it, and then they pick what year the car is, what model, make.
And it scrambles the VIN.
Yeah, and then it or it unlocks. I don't know how it goes, but and then the car starts, and then once they unplug it, the car stays running.
So what it is that they pretty much emulate the key. So what they do is when you have a transponder like a key, all it is it's numbers. It's ones and zeros. So what it does is it copies that. So if you have the device, I've seen some devices that are as small as phones. What you do is you put the device up to the transponder on the vehicle without the key being there, and if it's a push to start, then you try to start it, and it sends the packets of data to your thing, and it pretty much copies the like if it's copying the key, and then you're able to start the vehicle. So that device acts as the key to the vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. You can even do that they even do that with regular keys, like an actual key, like a physical key. They do the same shit with it without having to cut it and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, bro. They do it in like a matter of seconds.
Yeah, it's insane, bro.
And then the way they wipe the VINs is they rewrite the VINs. So they go in there and they go in there. I can give you an example, like on Ford's database. When you pull up a VIN through Ford's website or through Ford's access, it's gonna give you year, make, and model, where it was built, when it was built, all pretty much the specs, right? And so when you see a VIN that's off, it's tweaked. It doesn't match the body of the vehicle, so it's all tweaked and stuff like that. So they go in the computer and they rewrite the VIN, because you can do that.
Yeah.
With some devices, you're able to do that.
He says,
I know with Dodge and Nissans, they're a lot harder to do, but most of the other makes it's super easy to do. BMWs is easy, bro. Easy on BMWs.
He was saying, yeah, they send in the paperwork to like China or Korea, and then they'll just wipe everything. They'll give them the legit. They'll wash everything, and they'll give them legit paperwork that'll make it look legit. And there's no way of telling that there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, no.
That the car has been stolen. You can wipe everything. I was mind blown, because this whole time I was like, shit, bro, it stays with it, but I guess not. So it's like the way people are doing things is getting so sophisticated. Like before we were thinking, oh, new technology is safe and this and that, but now it's even easier for people.
It's not. I can tell you right now, man. It's not safe.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot easier for people to hack shit, because
Yep.
all it is a computer. People don't realize
That's
that
all.
in vehicles, you have all of your car is legit, like it's full of computers. You have modules for everything. So most of these new makes and models, you have modules for your window switches, for your locks, unlock buttons. They share the same module. You have a module for your seat heaters and your seat coolers. You have a module for your steering wheel. Anything you can think of electronic in a vehicle, there's a module for, or a computer. And then you have a high CAN bus system, which is like super high network, and you have a low CAN bus system, which is a slow network that you don't need to send high packets of data. But it's legitimately everything in your vehicle is a computer.
Yeah.
And it's easily hackable. So
It's insane. You pay all this money just to get jacked.
yeah, essentially you are. I mean, and it's crazy because like, all these consumers, they want all this high tech shit. They want to be able to have iPad screens and onboard 5G and heated and cooled steering. Like they want all this high tech shit, but they don't think of the consequences that all these computers on board, they're making vehicles one, less reliable, because more shit is bound to fuck up when you have all these computers on board, and two, easily to steal.
Yeah.
This is that's how it is.
Now they were saying everybody's going after the Camaros and Corvettes because they're so easy to steal.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, he said in the Mopars or like the Hellcats and Dodge vehicles, you gotta like break something and then attach the ODB. But in in the Camaros, you don't have to just a plug in and then you just go out. I forgot. He was saying they have another way. They punch out the headlight and then they'll hook up the device to a wire inside of the headlight, and then you can steal it that way.
Bypass the module, yeah.
But I was like, holy shit! I was mind blown, bro. Like,
you know what you need when you're looking and when they're doing stuff like this, it's like we're going, like you said earlier. It's not necessarily like dumb people that are doing this.
It's
like
smart.
It requires you a certain level of intelligence to do this, because legit most of the stuff that these people are accessing or they're doing, not saying that they do it at dealership levels, but most of the stuff is like dealership stuff, like softwares and programs and understanding how you do wiring, or how the wiring works and shit like that. This is all dealership level shit.
Yeah.
So it requires a certain level of finesse and know what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you would think like the more expensive ones are harder to steal, but they're not. And then they were showing how like the bigger trucks they'll steal. They won't even steal them because they want them. They'll steal them because those trucks are used to break down fences at dealerships and shit.
Yeah.
So they'll run the truck through the gate, and then these guys will rush in, run the devices, and then they'll be on their way. And then even like those bigger, what do you call them? They're like Denali's and then like SUVs. Let's say those SUV vehicles, they'll like steal them, but the worth on the street, like a $25,000-$30,000 SUV, will be worth only $1,000.
Dang.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, bro. They really just jacking them just to do that, but they'll only steal them just to ram shit, or they'll do drive-bys, do crime. And he brought up a pretty interesting point. He's like, there's so many cars stolen, right? You don't know which of these cars are used for trafficking and all that because they're not in the system.
They're not in the system.
So
yeah.
they could be used to traffic, smuggle, all that shit. You wouldn't think of it being that large scale, like linked to other crimes.
No.
You would just think that it's linked to, let's see, like people stealing, right? Just selling it, this and that, or like parting them out, because that was a big thing. People parting cars out, but now it's like on another level. You don't even have to part it out. People can go do crimes and then just get away with shit.
Yeah. Have you seen? So there's like there was a story that some people do like investigations and shit, where people get their car stolen, and they get sent overseas.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so there was this guy who had a BMW. He got it stolen out of his driveway, and it got sent to the Middle East, and it got sold on a dealership over there.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing a video on that.
And he was able to track his vehicle.
Yeah.
And his lawyers contacted the dealership over there, and they're like, no, and literally it matched, picture per picture. Everything, bro. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that means if like somebody else got their hands on it, they could have wiped the VIN.
So
it would have existed.
and so what they did was, I guess it's on YouTube, bro. Like I watched it on YouTube.
I remember seeing it. Yeah.
They look at the like on the ports now. They're scanning for anything that's vehicles or anything like that that are getting exported, and they're doing hella heavy. They gotta do you gotta show hella heavy paperwork to show that you're not getting them stolen. Because they're just literally legit exporting them out to Europe, and they're getting sold like through auctions. So these dealerships don't know what they're buying, bro, and they're fucking just getting sold. There was one in Arizona. There was a dealership in Arizona that was selling cars, and they were all stolen. They didn't know. The dealership did not know they were stolen because the VINs were clean, the paperwork was good through Department of Motor Vehicles. Everything was good. Everything checked out legit. Until one day they got raided. They all these federal agents came in and they got raided, and they said these are all stolen vehicles, blah blah blah, and it was literally 75% of their inventory, and they had receipts and shit showing that they were getting them from legit auctions, and so the auction got raided because of it, bro. That's just hella crazy.
That's another point. Yeah, it is pretty insane. That's another point he was making. He was saying that a lot of these stolen vehicles, they end up at the CarMaxes, or what's the other dealership?
CarMax, Hertz.
It was something like that. But he was saying
Enterprise.
Yeah, he was saying like they turn around, they buy them because they don't know, and then they sell them. And he was saying that it just keeps circulating like that. Nothing's going to change because the manufacturers, they're not taking a hit. It's actually good for their business that cars are getting stolen because the dealers have to buy more inventory from them.
Yeah. What I'm almost wondering is if some of these dealerships are actually working hand in hand with this because it's insurance money.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, in turn, the insurance raises prices and then people can't afford it.
Yeah. Especially when business is bad. What's your first thing? You're going to go have people steal shit on your lot so you can get new shit coming in.
That's true.
That's insane, though.
Yeah, it feels like people are doing frauds on all sides, and not just the thieves themselves, but it's the manufacturers, the dealers. I feel bad for the dealers that are honest, you know. But then this ask the question: will dealerships close down? Will it be only companies, manufacturers just selling straight out the lot?
So I think there's a law where you can't have manufacture. You can't go straight to the manufacturer. You have to actually buy it from the middleman, which is a dealership.
Why is that?
Because then it allows it's to deter the manufacturer from actually being able to sell super high. Because you're buying straight from the company. So Toyota can't sell. The Toyota Corporation can't sell a car. You have to go through Toyota dealerships. Because what they don't want to happen is that if you go to Toyota, the manufacturer, to buy the vehicle, what are the chances of it being a monopoly? Because you can't get it from elsewhere. But if you go through the middleman, which is a dealership, each dealership is mostly or 95% of the time, each dealership is all independently owned. You can own a Toyota dealership. I can own a Toyota dealership. Skirakovich can own a Toyota dealership. So each one of us are all competition with each other because you can sell a 4Runner for, let's say, $70,000. I can sell one for $70,000. Skirakovich can sell one for $80,000. So the consumer has options. But if the manufacturer says, or the law goes away where you can't have no dealerships, then you can only get from one place. And if that one place says, oh, the price for that 4Runner is $100,000, well, the consumer's forced to buy it for that price. You know what I mean?
How's Tesla doing it then? Because don't they sell their cars straight from the dealer or manufacturer?
I think they do, but I think it's different for them because they're not really an automotive. They're not an automotive company. They're considered a technology company.
Oh, gotcha. So they found a loophole.
Yeah. Because if you think, everybody who says that, oh yeah, like Tesla, but they're legit not a car company.
Yeah, because if you think about it, everybody buys from their company, like straight up. Like they do pre-orders, shit like that, and then it just gets made, put together, and then it's yours.
Mm-hmm. So you can go straight to the manufacturer when you're buying a vehicle, but if you get it sent to a certain dealership or your local dealership, they can even mark it up if they really want to. So it's stupid, bro. Like at the end of the day, the consumer's not made. It sucks for the consumer, you know.
Yeah.
But
because these guys, they're probably marking up by a lot.
They are. You seen how Ford the Raptors get stolen and shit out of the factory? You haven't seen stories like that, dude? That happens all the time, bro. They always be stealing them from the factories, like after they're built.
This guy was saying that it's hard stealing Fords. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he said Fords are the hardest to steal, so they avoid them, the Raptors and stuff.
Dude, they're always getting stolen off the plants.
Damn.
Yeah, watch. I'll show you.
So everything's getting jacked. Nothing's safe, bro.
I will say Ford's security system is pretty good.
Yeah, he said Fords are good.
It's pretty good, bro. I will say that.
I was hella laughing though, because I was like, who would have thought, you know?
You need two keys. You need two keys to program on a Ford in order for you to do anything.
10 Raptors were stolen after the assembly plant in Woodhaven, Michigan. That's another point.
That had to be an inside job.
Yeah, that's another point the guy mentioned. He was saying that these thieves, they target specific states like where they have no chase laws and stuff like that.
See?
Wow.
That was in 22.
Wow.
Crazy, huh? Here's another one. That's crazy, shit. Huh?
It's wild. Yeah, they were saying that these thieves, they'll go after places where they have no chase laws and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they target specific areas where they know nobody can even do anything. So that's how they're making way. Like, you know, for example, New York, he was saying they have the no bail thing, the no bail reform law. And then some states, they have the no chase law. And then California has they won't even put people in jail.
In jail, yeah.
So that's why they go. But if they go to like another state where where they actually have chasing and shit, he says they won't mess around because they don't want to get shot over a car. But I was like, damn, bro, it's kind of wild. But it put a whole different perspective. Now I'm like, damn, nobody's whip is safe, no matter how much security you think you have. You need that detachable steering wheel like Nino has, bro.
I remember I had one on my Integra.
Remember people were putting screwdrivers in the steering wheel and driving like that? Not even that safe, bro.
No.
That's just hella funny, bro. You can use anything to drive. Like people on IG, they're driving. Some fool was driving with a pot.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, it was like a little pot like this. Yeah, that's insane, bro.
Bro, people are wild.
Yeah, it's crazy how people are deterring to stealing shit just to survive, bro. They just caught this guy who was stealing copper in LA.
Damn, man, I thought people stopped that shit.
Hella copper, bro. Yeah,
I thought that shit was hella hard to steal now, but
no,
I guess
not.
Stealing
it, dude, and you got what's it called, Jack Fort.
Yeah, since we're on the topic of expensive, like expenses getting high, you went to Hawaii recently. Did you see any homeless over there?
I did. At first, I didn't. But it's weird how they. I think they. I don't know. But this is my speculation. But all the homeless are tucked away, bro, in an area, and we went to the area. So, say this is Hawaii, right? Whatever, the island I went to. We were right here. So we drove up the map this way one day, and then the next day we went around this way. So we covered all of this, pretty much this section of the island, right?
Yeah.
We also went this way right here. So we did pretty much all the island except for this up here, this part. So one of the last days we did was we were like, oh, let's go explore this side of the island. So we went up, and the further we went north.
Which island were you on, by the way?
We were on...
Was it Maui?
No. Oh.
Lahaina?
No, the other one. This one. I forgot what it was called.
Oahu?
Yeah, Oahu.
Okay.
So we went up here, and that's where all the homeless were at. So I feel like they're pushed all up in there. Because you could tell there was more poverty, like more poverty-stricken. You could tell. It was not as nice. It was a lot hotter, and then there was just a lot more homeless out in the street. But they were all tucked in over there, away from the tourist areas. Cause we were walking around, I'm like, damn, dude, there's like no homeless. This is sick, dude. I was like, what the hell? But then as soon as I started seeing like the other side of it, like I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot more right here.
Yeah, it's hella ironic. You went there recently, and then today in my suggestions, there's a pretty famous YouTuber. He likes doing journalism type videos, and he's doing it on Hawaii's housing crisis and all that.
It's expensive, bro.
Hella expensive.
People are getting priced out.
Yeah, and then I found out in the video they said 50% of the people that live there are actual Hawaiians, but the real number I looked up on Google was 47%.
Yeah, it's less than 50%.
You know how crazy that sounds? That these people that like grew up here and shit, they're having to move out.
One of the Uber drivers I talked to, I was like, hey, so how's you guys' housing situation here? Like, is it cool? He was telling me that a lot of Hawaiians are moving out and then going to Texas because it's cheap. A lot of people are going to Texas from Hawaii, he said. A lot of natives, I should say. Native Hawaiians are going
Isn't
to Texas.
that shit sad?
That's sad, bro.
Like, they shouldn't have to move out. Because what a lot of people are doing is, like, these hella filthy rich people, they're buying homes there, and they're just going there for, like, a winter or something like that.
Yeah, and they're not even staying there full time.
Exactly.
No.
So, it's hard to navigate this, but it brings in the question, who should be able to own how many houses, and where should they be able to own it? Because I know same thing is happening in Tahoe. Like, these guys, they got houses in Tahoe, but they barely even live there. It's like empty most of the time, and they'll go there for like during snow season, like for a week or something like that.
Yeah, for vacations.
Yeah, and then these houses are just sitting there. Meanwhile, they're like they're skyrocketing in value and causing like nobody else to be buying homes, you know?
Yeah.
And then a lot of people are buying these properties in Hawaii just for Airbnb or like not motel, you let's say like hotel type
Hotel
stuff.
type stuff.
Yeah, where people can stay there for like a weekend or something.
Even hotels are doing that shit, bro. Some people were telling me that, like, where we were staying at the tourist area, close to the beach, when we went to the beach, some people were telling me that, like, their hotels are doing that now. They're carving out sections of the beach just for themselves. And then they're charging people or they're only allowing people who are staying at the hotels to have that specific beach access.
Yeah,
and
that makes no sense.
Yeah, and some people were telling me that, like, that's not fair for the locals because that's their beach. They've been there for years, or they've been there, and all these businesses are exploiting.
Yeah, it's not right for anybody to own that because it's sand by the ocean. That's
to me, it's public property.
Yeah, that's like me going to the ocean, being like, this part of the ocean is mine. You can't go in there.
Exactly.
Because what's stopping it from ending in the ocean? Like, who are you to say that they can only own the beach then, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they own that part of the beach, what stops them from saying people can't go in the ocean?
Yeah, so I guess there's laws there now. The laws are starting to change. One of the guys was telling me and shit.
They need to make it where, like, nobody owns the beach.
No, it should be public property.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But, because I saw this Karen, bro, she was getting butthurt because people were sitting on the beach and she was saying the beach was a part of her backyard and she put, like, a rope on a certain part.
Yeah, I seen that.
People are losing their shit.
It's entitlement.
Yeah.
It's entitlement is what it is.
So, yeah, now the Hawaiians, they're frustrated because they, like, prices are getting skyrocketed and they're getting priced out. And meanwhile, all the hella, like, filthy rich people, they're just buying property over there and just chilling.
Actually, it happened to me. It happened to us when we went to Hawaii. So we wanted to go to this beach, right? Where there was like turtles and shit, turtle sightings. So we're like, oh, let's go. Like, so I plotted it out. So we turned in, right? We turned into the street, and we kept going and going, and we're like, what the fuck? This is like a community or some shit. And we're like, oh, it's probably like housing right here. It's probably like just like apartments or condos, and then probably further in is gonna be like beach access. So we kept going, and it took us to a hotel. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is all hotel property. And there were signs everywhere. It says no public beach access, hotel members only. And then we looked at the parking lot, and it was like hotel parking only, blah blah blah. And I'm like, bro, like, it was hella upscale, it was hella nice, you know. Like, and we're like, let's get the hell out of here, bro. This doesn't feel inviting, you know. And so I ended up talking to another local, and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, that's all hotel property and shit. I'm like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's insane, bro. Like, I don't know. That brings in the question, like, where does this stop? Because now, if we limit this, right, because this needs to be limited, how are we going to go about, like, people that can't afford housing over here? You know, because there's people buying up all the properties here just in our state, you know? So then, like,
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? Like, how much property should a person be able to own? Because there's people, they're just doing it at a grand, crazy scale, and like, it's causing people to get priced out.
Yeah.
They can't afford it. So at what cost is all this gonna be? You know?
I mean, on one side, you got people saying like, yeah, like capitalism,
like free markets,
and then the other side, you have people
regulating.
So it's hard, but you know what? Like,
it needs to be in the middle.
I think it needs to be in the middle. And you know what I noticed? Not a lot of people talk about this.
Yeah.
They be focusing on like stupid shit, or like, oh, not stupid shit, but they're focusing on other things in their life.
Yeah.
Other more important things, but this is an important topic.
It is. It's really important. Nobody brings it up.
No one brings it up, dude. Like, I think personally there should be some sort of regulation.
Yeah, because then the problem is people are too much on like the polar ends. Mm-hmm. When the answer lies somewhere in the middle.
It should, yeah.
Because if you say free markets, well, like the people that are already like empowered, they're gonna keep buying up everything.
Yeah.
Right? Because they wanna stay in power. But if you get too much on the other side, where it's too much regulated, then nobody's gonna own anything either.
Yeah.
So you gotta be somewhere in the middle. Like I don't know. This is like, and it's somebody else's job, but you shouldn't be able to have like unlimited like
houses,
unlimited unlimited properties, or you get what I'm saying, or like a monopoly. It's kind of like monopolizing.
Yeah, I think what they need to do is they need to kind of do like what they do with cars, right? Like, you know how you can only sell certain amount of cars a year, from the through, and otherwise you have to have a dealership license. They need to do that shit with housing. I think they need to do like where you can only sell or buy or have a certain amount of houses under your name, or sell them until you get your real estate license, or they force you to get a real estate license, or do something like that, to where they can tax you, or do something to make sure that you're not doing it for illicit reasons or some shit like that.
But then these guys, like real estate companies, they're just gonna keep buying.
True, but at least it's more regulated.
Yeah, but they'll like pass on the cost to the consumer or the renters anyways then.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I think the thing is they need to like regulate or find a way how much property a person can own and how much they can put on rent. Because these guys, they're just, okay, it goes from one person to buying, and then they buy a shitload, and then it turns into a company, and then these companies are just buying at a like grand scale level, and it's like wiping out the competitors.
Yeah, but what they could do is they could do like what do they call it? A debt ceiling. So if these companies are buying to rent, like the government puts like a ceiling on for rent, like rent control. Like, you can't do no more than this. Mm-hmm. It cannot be no more than $1,500 a month. You can't have it more than that.
That brings in the question: should
they do that in New York? You know that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's still not going to stop these companies from buying out all the housing.
It's
so like
not.
At that point, you're like, shouldn't everybody be afforded the right to be able to buy a home without having to be on rent?
Everybody should have the right to be able to.
Right, because we have the right to. What is it? Food, water, and shelter.
Mm-hmm. The 3 basics.
Yeah, that's basic rights. It goes into that, but now these guys, they're putting it to where like you're not even being able to own.
Yeah.
So I think we're headed towards turbulent times because nobody wants to live on rent, bro. Screw that shit. Honestly, that shit scares me, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to rent.
It's terrifying, and like the way things are headed. Like the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, like I'm seeing it play out in real time, like where he's trying to say you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. They're trying to actually make it like that, and it's like happening right in front of us, and it's happening faster than we're expecting it. But people are, people are paying attention, but nothing's being done because everybody's so divided on bullshit.
Well, if you think of our economy versus other countries, like for example Mexico, the U.S. versus Mexico, in the way the economy is, I feel like people here, everything is borrowed. Your car is borrowed, your house is borrowed, and you're borrowing these houses with borrowed money, with money you don't even have. So versus in Mexico, you're paying for everything and you own everything. So in Mexico, when you have a house, you own the land. You don't own the house. You own the land, but you pay for it. You pay for it. Sometimes up until most recently, everything was, you don't get loans like you do here. You pay for everything up front. So if you go get a truck, a car, it's all bought with cash up front. Only time you really get a loan is if you work for like a certain company, then your company will back you to get a loan for the vehicle you're buying. But it was super, super hard to do. But here, everything is borrowed. You're gonna go get your car, you're borrowing it from the bank because the bank is giving you a loan. If you go get a house, it's the same shit. So at the end of the day, nothing is yours unless it's paid for. And even then, it's not yours because you're still paying for DMV fees and insurance. If you think about it, it's not really yours to keep.
These are all forms of usury interest.
Mm-hmm.
Like interest, like I think that's why, like the more I look into my religion, the more I'm realizing why it warns against it. Because in our religion, it's against it to collect interest. And if you think about where all the problems are coming from, it's all coming from interest.
So there was this Muslim guy that got interviewed because he was talking. He owns like a dealership or something in the Middle East, and he was saying, oh yeah, in our religion, Muslims we're not allowed to collect interest. But he was telling the guy who was interviewing him how you get around it, how you get around interest and still make money. I was like, bro, that's crazy. That's still interest.
It is. They're just naming it something
just
else.
thinking
I
else.
heard like these Arab countries, they're like doing that shit, but they're like naming it like something else.
Something else.
But at the end of the day, it's still interest.
It's still interest.
And
yeah.
we're all gonna have to answer for that shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Because like, that's why they're saying like these nobody liked these elite people because they were all trying to implement interest. And what was happening in the old world order is they're saying that these guys would get kicked out of kingdoms and stuff because they would try to implement the interest system. So then they finally came into power, and now look, the world's turning to shit because of them. Because the interest, it's all because of interest and debt. But I think there's gonna be a big change, but I don't think this shit's gonna last forever. And power never lasts forever.
No.
So we'll see how it goes. But I felt bad for the Hawaiians, but I know like the same shit that's happening to them is happening here too.
It's happening here, yeah.
And
a
it's
lot.
and it's like more like. It's more like undercover, but all of this is the water's gonna boil over. It's just gonna get hectic.
Yeah, my brother was telling me, well, not even my brother, even my dad. He was telling me that a lot of the new developments they were doing, people were selling their houses in where they were at, and they were buying almost 4 or 5 houses,
Dude,
over here, or like 30 minutes away. And they were buying them cash, bro.
Bro, see, that's why I say there should be like a limit, bro.
And my brother was telling me that one of the divisions that he was doing, literally 3 houses were owned by the same person. Like his, and then another owner.
Yeah, I mean, I get it if it's gonna be for the kids, right? Like, say they have 2 or 3 kids, then I understand.
No, they were renting them all.
Yeah, that's the thing
And
that sucks.
and the owner wasn't even living in any of them.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you
Yeah.
have kids and you want to
Yeah.
give it to them in the future, that's
Yeah.
fine. But like doing this shit, that's crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
Like, you gotta have like a certain limit.
I think so too, bro.
Yeah, this can't be ignored. I mean, people might be saying, "Oh, this is like anti-free market," but like, you can't have too much on either side. It has to be in the middle.
I agree.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. It's crazy now that they're saying Hawaii's full of just tourists and shit and these rich fools, but everything changes, man. Like, honestly, I looked at how Hawaii looked online. I wouldn't want to live there. It's cool to visit here and there, but I wouldn't want to live there.
It's cool. It is
With
cool
all
to
due
visit.
respect.
Yeah, it is cool to visit, and I feel bad for those native. Cause dude, when I was there, like I was talking to a lot of like native Hawaiians, bro, and they're cool people, bro. They're hella down to earth. They're chill. You know what I mean? Like, and personally, when I was there, I like to go. I like to hang. I like to go to the places where the locals went versus the tourists, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm not big on tourism because I feel like it takes away from places themselves. But I know most places that tourism is their way of economy.
Yeah.
It's their way of getting money into their environment or into that area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 sides to each coin, you know. But I do feel bad, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, if it's happening there, it's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
It's just bound to happen.
Yeah. That's
Natural
true.
law. But yeah, did you do anything? Did you see anything cool this week?
No, I've been hella busy.
If you're watching anime, check out Redline.
Oh yeah, I seen your text.
Cause you like watching like watching racing stuff.
Yeah.
This anime movie was badass, bro.
I'll check it out.
I was like, damn, Caballero would like this shit.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I was watching it cause I was scrolling on IG and then some guy was asking people. He's like, "What's an underrated anime movie?" And some guy recommended it. Shout out to that guy. It turned out to be badass.
Sick.
The sad part is, dude, this shit, it was made in 2009, but it feels like hella old school. And I found out why. It's because it's hand drawn. It took them 7 years to make this anime.
Yeah?
And they ended up closing down because it flopped, right? But this anime shouldn't have flopped. It was pretty sick.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, it's hella badass.
I'm about to watch it.
Yeah, you should check it out today if you can, or tomorrow. But it's badass, bro.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a sick one.
Yeah, I do remember.
It's low key. I've never heard of it before, but before watching it, so It's about these people that are racing. They're on another planet,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're all trying to race.
Yep.
And the race is called the Red Line.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty sick. Like the way it starts out, the way they show the way the nitros goes is freaking sick. And then the soundtrack at certain points, it like hypes you up.
Dang.
It reminds me of like the '90s anime movies and stuff like that.
Initial D was like that too.
Which one?
Initial D.
What's that one?
It's you've never heard of it? It's like one of the biggest.
I've
animes.
seen. Is it a racing one?
Yeah.
I've seen it. Like part of it, like clips. How many episodes does it have?
Oh, dude, there's like 4 seasons.
Damn.
But they're sick, bro. Like, it gets better and better. So there's a 86,
Yeah.
RX-7. They got Skylines. They got Civic Type Rs.
That's
It's sick,
sick.
bro.
Yeah.
I would watch it, bro.
I'm gonna check it out.
I think you'd like it.
But yeah, just the way the animation was done and the storyline,
Oh,
it was
look,
pretty
that's-
sick.
That's Sylvia back there.
Silva's a sick. The only thing I didn't like about this was the ending because it feels like they didn't close it off right. It felt like kind of rushed. But hey, what can you say? For like 7 years, they did a hella good job.
Yeah.
I can't believe it took 7 years, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then they ended up shutting down because they weren't making money. So that's the thing that sucks. Like when people put their heart and soul into something and it like
Yeah.
doesn't get
work
the
out.
attention it deserves.
I
But
agree.
now it's gonna catch on because the cool thing is now on social media everything gets like catches on fire exponentially.
I think it was on Netflix at one point.
I don't know.
I remember it being on Netflix. I remember seeing that title.
Okay, but if you get time, you should check out that techno
I'm gonna check it out.
Clinton?
Yeah.
after Redline. But I don't know if you're gonna like it or not. But I thought it was pretty catchy. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of odd. But
Yeah.
but then it kind of grows on you
No, I'll check it out.
because it shows like life because the kids they're talking about how their city's changing
Mm-hmm.
and how like it's just things are different for them and then like you feel the same way just like living wherever you're living you're like shit is changing and you don't like that. But yeah guys, Anchin, be happy. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but yeah, go live your life and yeah, do your thing.
Anji.